And hello everyone, welcome to your first tutorial on the Python programming language. Well, this isn't much of a tutorial, it's more an overview, getting started with Python programming. So what exactly is Python? Now, Python is a high-level, dynamically typed, general-purpose programming language created by this person right here. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that name as to not offend anyone with this. And it was created in 1991. Now, a lot of this might sound very unfamiliar, especially if you're new to programming. So let me give you a quick jargon overview of what all of this means. High level means it is easy to understand for humans. That also makes coding easier in the process. You might hear people call languages like C or assembly low-level programming languages, mostly because they're a bit more difficult to understand by humans. But they also work closer to the hardware on the system, also why those languages are usually a little bit faster than Python or JavaScript or any other high-level programming language. Dynamically typed basically means Python will automatically figure out what data type all of the values in your code is, so you don't have to. It makes coding a lot simpler because in languages such as C or C++ or Rust, you need to specify this value here, that's going to be a number. This one here, that's going to be a piece of text. In Python, that is not necessary and you can just skip that and go straight to actually coding. General purpose means it can be used for anything. And yes, I know a couple of you are going to ask, it can be used for games and AI. Emphasis on anything. So anything you can imagine, Python can do that job for you. Now you might be wondering, okay, now I know what Python is, but why should I use Python? Well, let's say you have no experience in programming whatsoever. Python is one of the, if not the place to begin with your programming journey, since Python is insanely easy for beginners. And because it's so insanely easy, you also get features like it's being a high-level programming language, and a lot of times it's platform independent. So you can make a software for Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, probably iOS, all of these platforms as long as you have the Python interpreter, which just reads Python code installed. There's also dynamically typed, which to a lot of people, this is a reason to learn a programming language. Some people cannot be bothered to have a statically typed programming language, meaning you need to specify the data type of your values. It has a massive standard library and a lot of third-party packages you can use, which just means you basically have to do less to get more. That is what that basically means. It is like installing a messaging app from the Play Store, so you don't have to call people, you can instead message them. And it is insanely versatile in almost every domain. So it can be used for web development, such as creating websites, data analysis, automation, and all sorts of other places where you can use it. So even if you don't know if you want to learn Python, and you might be thinking between Python and a different language, if you learn Python, you can still do about anything. You're not limited if you learn Python. Now, exactly when should you use Python? This is a more difficult question because there is not a when. It is just do. Because we could say you can use Python for web development, data analysis and visualization, machine learning and AI, automation, scripting, for repetitive tasks, game development, all of these. But the thing is, Python can be used for absolutely anything. You'll notice here I have a little image where there's like PHP, Ruby, Python, Java, JavaScript, Perl. All of these can just be condensed down to Python because Python can do everything they can do. Now, I am a little bit biased. I can already hear a couple of people in the comment section being like, no, C is better, C++ is better, JavaScript is better. I'm just saying Python is best for beginners because no matter what you want to do, Python can do it. Now, Python as a career. Now, this is a very frequently asked question, and there are little caveats I'm going to have to tell you here. So first of all, it is high demand in the job market, meaning almost everyone wants you to know Python because it is just so versatile that you can do anything with it. That means software development, data analysis. We're going over these things again and again because you can just do so much with it. So Python is almost always available in the job market because everyone wants someone that can do it since it can do everything. It also opens up the opportunity for potential remote work or even freelancing. Because Python is so simple, you don't need a whole team always to do a simple project. And because it's a programming language, a lot of times you can just work remotely if your job allows it. Meaning you can work from home and you don't need to travel to the office every day. And in here is where the caveats come in, the salary yearly. So here I have my top countries that watch my channel. You can of course find more on Glassdoor, the website where you can see how much people make depending on what they learn. And here we get with yearly, you make about 100,000 US dollars, 500,000 Indian rupees, 600,000 rand, and so on and so forth. But you need to take this with a grain of salt. A lot of people hear this and then they are like, I am going to be super rich, my first job is going to make me insanely rich, and so on and so on. Please take note, this is not the case. You will need to work yourself up to this over the course of about 5 to 10 years. As an example, my first salary was about 60,000 rand a year. That is about 10 times less than specified here in South Africa. So this 600,000 a year, this is more something you'll get as a senior developer or at least mid-level developer at best, and not something you'll get right out of the gate. But this also means if you want a higher salary, because there's potential for remote work, you can always find a programming job in a different country while you live in your country, which can also raise your salary quite a bit. Here are a couple of interesting Python projects that you might be familiar with. Anyhow, so you get things like Django, which is used for web development, Blender, which is popular software to create 3D objects, Instagram, we all know what that is, Disqus, which is something you can implement into your site to allow people to comment on it without you needing to create the whole commenting thing, so Disqus gives that to you out of the box. Then you get Dropbox, which is file storage, Reddit, we all know what that is, EVE Online, which is a game, and The Sims 4, which is also a game. And here are a couple more frequently asked questions that everyone might be wondering. How difficult will this course be? Well, this course is intended for beginners and will take you from beginner level all the way to advanced level, allowing you to know a lot more about Python than most just beginners. What's the difference between Python 2 and Python 3? Python 2 is very old, don't use it, just use Python 3. You don't even need to know Python 2. If someone still uses Python 2, it's very easy to quickly learn it if you already know Python 3. So don't worry too much, we will be focusing on Python 3. What IDE, Integrated Development Environment, or fancy text editor should I use? You can use Sublime Text, PyCharm, VS Code, or just about anything. If you start coding in Notepad, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't need to be anything specific. I will be using VS Code, but of course, VS Code does have a little bit of a learning curve, so you might be more interested in Sublime Text or even Notepad. And that is that for the introduction to Python. And I will see you all again in the next Python tutorial.